Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We're back here today with the next champion entering MCOC. We have White Tiger. I'm not feeling too great today, so this is going to be a quick one. And most of the gameplay is actually going to be the deep dive rotation video that you've probably already seen. But I do have one video clip to show you like what's going on actively in here. But let's start breaking down this champ today. I think I'm going to go back to bed, so we are going to make this quick. But White Tiger, thankfully, she has like the shortest kit in the entire game. So for any day for me not to be feeling good for one of these, today's the day, man. Today is the day. Okay, so we'll actually start with her Sig ability today because it's very unneeded, okay? So you start the fight with a Fear passive on the opponent. Basically, what that does is it reduces the opponent's like unblockable ability accuracy down to 0 and also removes their perfect block chance. You don't need it. Like, you really don't need it, you know? Like, it's one of those things where, like, you'll be able to, like, you know, block Adam Warlock a lot when he's unblockable and, like, Hulkling, but just for the first, like, 20 seconds of the fight. So it's definitely cool. It's definitely nice. I feel like there's a lot of potential for the ability in the future, but you don't need the Sig ability on White Tiger. Also, this is kind of nice for defensive purposes. It's kind of like the old Deadpool X-Force ability where he gets to a certain percent, shoots up to 3 bars of power. It's really nice on offense, too. You don't need it on offense. It's more so to be like a bully defender, just shoots her up in power. Okay, so Power of the God. She's immune to Nullify, which is nice. You know, that's full Nullify immunity, not like immune from champions. So, you know, buffet, power snack, stuff like that. She's going to be great for those fights. Of course, she's going to be great for fighting Ebony Maw, stuff like that. Can't be nullified, right? So no degen damage. She has 70% reduced offensive combat power rate, but she passively gains power equal to 50% of the power the opponent gains, which is really interesting because you gain more power getting hit than hitting. So you have reduced offensive power, but you're giving them all this power, then you steal 50% of it, or you gain 50% of it. So that's really noticeable against, like, you know, Hyperion, Arcus, stuff like that, where there's, like, you know, power to actually grab. But just in general, the way she gains power is very interesting. Strength of a Fighter. When inflicted with the damaging debuff, she has a 20% chance per buff on the opponent to purify it. This is like very geared towards Gore, right? He has all those buffs. You're never really going to see a debuff on her, which is nice when you're fighting Gore. Dashing forward grants a non-stacking precision passive, increasing her crit rating by a decent bit. This is paused during her special attacks. This has like the same window as Titania's Haymakers and Kitty Pryde's dash phase kind of thing. You don't need this always to be active, but of course it's going to be very nice to have because you're going to be critting on those special attacks a lot. All right, and also one more thing, this is nice combo ending attacks. You can nullify a power gain or energize buff off the opponent, but of course you steal some of the power that you gain from them, so you might not want to, but that could be good against, like, for example, you know, like there is that Icarus and Turning to Pain with all of the energize buffs. All right, you can just medium and nullify them. Hyperion, of course, you can nullify the power gain, stuff like that. Special attacks. On special activation, she gains a Fury buff, increasing her attack rating, right? This maxes out at 5 stacks, and if she uses a special one, she gains 2 Fury buffs, okay? When you start stacking these Furies, she starts to hit pretty darn hard. For each personal Fury buff, each hit power steals 1% of the opponent's current power, and she gains 200% of that power back, right? So that's a decent power steal, so you can kind of spam the special one over and over and over. Here's the thing, it goes on cooldown after you use it. To reactivate it, you got to use the special one again, or special 2, okay? Now, if you finish a special attack with at least 1 bar of power, it grants you an unblockable passive. This is nice for just like spamming those special attacks, right? Now, the special 2, this is where most of the damage comes from. The final hit inflicts a bleed debuff, right? And it deals a decent amount of damage over 3 seconds, but it's also paused while the opponent, Hulkling, is indestructible, okay? And while it's active, the opponent cannot heal, Hulkling, Gore, and when the bleed expires, all of their regen buffs are nullified. So it's kind of nice, you know? Kind of nice. So the special 3. Kind of cool with the special 3. She can't use it unless she's using or charging a heavy attack. What it does, it just grants 2 additional Fury buffs that can stack up to 7, and it puts the Fear debuff on so they can't be unblockable for 40 seconds. More often than not, you do want to avoid the special 3, pretty much, because special 1, special 2 is where it's at. Here, let's go over this fight real quick. Here, against this Drax, as you can see, kind of 711,000 health, right? That's a lot. So basically, what you want to do with her here is you want to kind of go for these dashes if you can. I'm backing up all the way. He's not cooperating with me here. Now, of course, if there's limber on the opponent, you can't really do the parry backup thing I'm doing here. But if you're questing with her, you totally can. You totally can if there's no limber or anything like that. So watch his power here when we go for a special one. We're going to get 2 Fury buffs, all right? And well, you couldn't really see it in that one, but I'm gonna hide my face, okay? So watch his power here, okay? Right here. It kind of stays and actually goes down a tiny bit overall. We're gonna go in for another special one while we're unblockable, okay? And now we have 4 Fury buffs. So we're gonna start hitting kind of hard on our basic attacks and of course our special attacks, but we have our power steal available. So we're gonna go up to a special 2 now. Now we're gonna have 5 Fury buffs. This is the cap before the special 3. Watch his power on this. And look at our power. We have almost a special 3 here. We're going to go for another special 2. And look at this. Look, we're up to 1 bar of power, and we're going to throw the special 1 and steal his power. And look at where we are, almost at 2 bars. So I'm baiting a special attack from him here, but as you can see, you don't even need to because you can just kind of keep spamming these specials over and over and over. And it's pretty effective. It's pretty solid. It takes a bit of getting used to, I will say, because you almost want to ignore the opponent's power meter because the special 1, it doesn't give much power to the opponent, right? So you can kind of use that to reset and then steal it, right? And you can even potentially push them the special 3, and then if you're unblockable, launch the special and power steal them. It's pretty interesting. Let's take a look at her in some high pressure scenarios here against like Gore and Gallon.
To begin, strike the opponent and start building your power. Performing a dash will grant a precision passive to satisfy the itch for those yellow numbers. And once you reach just under 2 bars of power, launch your first special to steal the opponent's power and gain your first Furies. You could launch another special one to stack on even more Furies and reset your power steal passive. Keep in mind, you have a 20% chance per buff on the opponent to purify incoming damaging debuffs. So, don't stress and build to your special 2 to place a juicy bleed that steals the opponent's regen, and if necessary, you could launch it again, since you just stole all that power. And now that the opponent is almost knocked out, continue the assault until they drop below 15%, and then use your power gain buff to end off with a final special 2 or that satisfying special 3 finale. Now, in a shorter fight, if possible, don't worry about the opponent's power and focus on repeatedly launching your special 1s to max out your Furies and steal that power on every other special activation. And once you're in range of that final strike, set yourself up and use that power gain to deliver a crushing special 2 finish.
And yeah, man, that's White Tiger. One fun thing to note as well, she does have a cool synergy down here with Gladiator. This might be very nice after his buff. Charging a heavy attack while the opponent's back is against the wall grants a Fury buff, increasing attack rating by 50.5% for 2 seconds, maxing out at 3 stacks. Now, you're never really going to hit 3 stacks on that unless you have like cosmic buff lengthening synergies, which is fine. If you want to do that, that could be cool. But yeah, pretty cool. 49.5% chance of the power steal not going on cooldown is actually very, very, very powerful for White Tiger. So these two will be a nice duo. And that's of course the percentages of whether or not they won the vote or lost the vote, which is kind of cool. 50.5 and 49.5. And yeah, man, that she has some other synergies as well, but they're plus 20% special damage is actually not too bad, actually. But yeah, some decent synergies throughout there. But that's White Tiger, man. She's pretty cool. Let me know what you think about her in the comments section below. And yeah, she does not need to be duped to be cool. Anything you saw in this video is pretty much unduped for the most part. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. I'll be seeing you around.